Yo guys, welcome. What's going on? I'm ZoneCodez, and we're gonna be doing the Odin Project. We did the foundations already. Kind of did it off stream and off a video, but we did it a long time ago. We're gonna go ahead and go into the full stack JavaScript, but I want to video every moment of this journey. We're gonna try to do our absolute best to learn everything we can and get a job with this and see what happens. So I just want to send a thanks to the Odin Project, and let's get started, man. So yeah, we start with the intermediate. We're gonna do intro, right? And we're just gonna look at it over the whole course. It'll be real cool. And you guys are just gonna be hanging out with me. It'll be probably a few hours of this for now. Each episode will be a few hours long. I'm gonna also make sub episodes that hopefully will be a little bit shorter, where we can zoom through the coding and whatnot. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna have a raw video and a edited video essentially. But here we go. So we need to read this. They wants us to read this tags, right? We know most of this. Main HTML. You got the document metadata, contains information about the page, style, scripts, data, software, etc. Right? So you got base, head, link, metadata, style, and title. Body, content sectioning. That's cool. Oh, that's cool. Article, aside, footer, header. We knew about those H1 through H6, H group, main, nav. My nav links there with current and docs section. We may as well favorite this. Do we have a other bookmark? So we're gonna put that under. All coding stuff will go under other bookmarks, I think. Text content. This is gonna be cool. We can come back here too if we're looking for certain tags, so that'll be good. And then let's see. Menu created by browsers as no different. So it's an unordered list. Interesting. Okay. Menu is the same as UL. Semantic alternative. Paragraph pre-formatted text represents an unordered list. Line text. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Data. That's cool. So many different elements, but as you can see, date, time, attribute, translate date. That's cool. All right. So let's see. We've got all this area. Very interesting. You do a lot with just HTML, right? Like, it's kind of mind blowing. Yeah, exactly. And honestly, we'll be able to come back to it anytime. So for now, we're going to call it there on that. Let's see about this. Do we have this one saved? No. So here we go. Yeah, we can just ignore this completely. Nice. So we're definitely going to save this as well. Other bookmarks, save. Look at this. This is cool. Color picker. Online, how to use it. There's a little how to use video. I'll definitely come back and watch that after. We may go over that video and see, and we'll talk about this. Be kind of cool to make a little video about this. This is super cool. Look at this. Write down, blur, opacity, color. Man. Ads. Dude, that's just crazy. This is cool. Alright, we'll exit that for now. So we can mark that one complete. Not sure why. I'm lagging a little bit though, for sure. Like the internet's lagging. There we go. All right, so Emmet. Emmet is a plugin built into VS Code that helps you write HTML. I'm pretty sure, you can do that. I love Emmet. Emmet is one of my favorite things. Keyboard shortcuts. Rapid abbreviation. All right, so we're gonna watch this video. Let me make sure that the sound's working right for this.
Are you guys here for the halftime show?
Oh, no. We're here to help save Liberty
All right,
Mutual.
there you go. It's a bit loud, guys. Sorry about that.
Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you
Heck
how
yeah,
to
let's
use
see.
Emmet in order to write HTML and CSS.
All right, make sure you guys
faster.
go follow
by
and
the end of
subscribe
video,
this dude.
I guarantee you're going to be writing HTML
Give me a
at
sec.
least
Let me sign in real quick. Whatever. You can't see the password, so I don't care. You guys will know my email anyways. That doesn't matter.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name
We
on
gotta
it
add.
just
All
by
right, so
thinking
check it.
about Meet
We're gonna watch this video. We're gonna
44,
discuss the
a
video while we
complete
watch
AI
it, though.
creation platform.
So as to not be like
Hello,
using this guy's
everyone.
content for
In
our
this
own
video,
content, right?
I'm going to show you
This is
how
just-
to use Emmet.
He's
in order to
awesome.
write
We'll link him down
HTML
below
and
for sure.
CSS faster.
But yeah,
And by the end of this
definitely
video, I guarantee
check him out,
you're
man.
going to
Throw
be
him a
writing
subscription.
HTML
He deserves
at
it. He
least
does a lot of
twice
good
as
work.
fast as you were before, which is going to drastically increase the speed you can create.
All right, man. So we can skip through beginning. This is like the intro.
Visual Studio
So here
Code.
we go.
And Emmet is actually built in to
So he's
Visual
just gonna
Studio
talk about
Code,
Emmet,
so you
right?
can
It's
start
awesome.
using Emmet immediately
So pay
as long as you're
attention.
in an HTML page. And by far, the most used Emmet shortcut that I
Yep.
use personally is when you
It's
type
exclamation, yep.
point and hit enter. And
Bam,
it
there you
generates
go.
all of this boilerplate
All right, guys.
HTML for you.
So there
This
you
is
go.
actually part of Emmet. And what Emmet is,
So that's
is it's
super
essentially
important.
a bunch of different shortcuts.
So what's awesome about Emmet, right, is what he just showed you. Look at this. It did your whole HTML page and most of your head for you. And you just have to add a little bit to the head and a little bit to the body, and you're done, dude. Like, oh, tell me that's not amazing.
And snippets.
I don't know.
where
I'm
you type
lazy,
a
so
small
anything
amount
that
of code,
makes
for
it a
example,
little
exclamation
faster is
point,
great.
and it'll generate
Honestly.
powerful
So yeah.
span. Hit
Yeah,
enter,
you can use it for all kinds of stuff.
for example.
You'll see me
And
do
as you
some as
see,
I
it
code. I
automatically
gotta practice
populates
it
this
myself,
href
so
for us and puts the cursor right in the middle of it, since it
Yep.
knows an anchor tag
So good.
needs to have some form of href.
Oh
And we
man.
can do this with pretty much any tag that you can think of. For example,
Man,
button,
check
and
that
so
out.
on. And the list goes on
Oh,
and on. And that
so
alone
good,
will
dude.
already save you twice the time because you don't have to type the
Yeah,
closing
so you
portion,
can
only have
do
to
all
type
kinds
that
of
opening
elements.
word
You can
to get that
create.
tag
You
generated.
could literally
But you
technically
can
write
actually
out
do
the whole
much more.
element
If we
with
wanted, for
Emmet,
example, a
and like
span
it's
that
really
has the
cool.
class of purple,
Yeah.
we just put our element span,
And you can
and
do
then
like
dot
times
and the
3,
class
all
we
kinds
want,
of crazy
just
stuff.
like if you made a CSS selector. And when we generate that, you see it creates that.
So when you're
class
just
of
trying to throw
purple.
some HTML together
Basically,
pretty
we can
fast,
do the
man,
same thing with
Emmet
IDs.
is
We
literally a
just type
lifesaver on
in the
time.
ID we want,
And time is the
after
most
that pound
valuable
symbol,
resource we
and it'll
have.
generate that for us. You can
Don't
almost
ever
think of
forget
Emmet
that.
as writing out CSS inside of your HTML, and when you hit enter,
All right.
it'll generate the HTML for that CSS selector. And we can do, for example, a div with class of class 1,
Yep.
and another
Look,
class of class
so watch
2
this closely.
with an ID of ID 1. And as you can see, it generates all of
See?
that information.
Isn't
for
that
us,
cool?
which is really,
So yeah, you can
really
do a lot of stuff
powerful.
with Emmet. It's
On top of
incredible.
that, something that Emmet does
Let's see here.
have a div, and it'll automatically assume we
Yeah.
want
So there's that.
those and IDs. We can also add
Yeah, check this out.
attributes. So for example, if we had a button and we
Yep.
wanted this button to be the type equal to button.
Yep.
We could just type that out just like this, just
Yep.
like it was H or CSS selector. Hit enter, and you can see it creates a button
Boom.
with the type
It's so
of a
awesome.
button here. We could also
Do all kinds of stuff
and
like
when we
that.
hit tab, it moves us into the div. It's really powerful,
Yeah,
and I
it's so
love
good.
Emmet for creating these basic elements. But
Yep.
of our div, which is a span with the class of cyan. And now, as you can see, we have a div with the class purple, and inside
Yeah,
that we have a span with the
yep.
class of cyan. That's really powerful.
You can put stuff
We can
inside
do,
of
for example, we
stuff.
want
You
a
can do all
header,
kinds of
and
stuff.
inside that header, we want to have a nav.
It's really cool.
Inside that
So
nav, we
like you
want a
can look
UL.
at it almost
And now,
like
if we try to hit
the
enter on
first
this,
part, your
it's going
header
to
is going to
generate
be
us
the
out a
parent,
header
with
a
the nav being
inside
the
of it,
child of that,
and
and
a
the
UL
ULs
inside of
being
that.
the
That's
child of
really
the nav.
powerful.
It's
But
really cool.
We can take this a step further and
Oh, yeah,
actually
it-
do multiplication.
yeah,
Because what if we
so
wanted
Emmet's
a bunch
pretty
of
nuts,
LIs inside of
as
this
you
UL?
can see.
Well, we can say that we want some child of
I don't know all the
LIs,
hotkeys to go
and we
back
want,
like
for
he just
example,
did there
3 of
either.
them.
So
We
we'll
just
probably
put
learn some
the
of that as we go.
multiplication
It'd be really
sign,
fun.
the star symbol, and 3, and that's saying that we now want 3 LIs inside of our UL. And when we hit enter, you see we
Boom.
have these 3 LIs.
Oh,
And
so
if I type
good.
information and hit tab, it moves me to the next LI.
You'll see. We'll
and
probably
the
use some
next
of
LI,
this for
which
stuff
is
we're doing.
Awesome.
So
And on top of that, if we go
What's
back
that?
to this,
I don't know
anything
how
we
he
put
goes
inside
back
of
like
them,
that, but man, it'd be nice to know.
if we hit enter, you
Yep, you can do what you want
want it to
inside of
count.
each
For example, we
LI.
wanted LI
You could
1
actually
to
add more
say 1,
stuff in the
LI 2
UL.
to
You
say
can add
2,
stuff in the
and LI
nav
3 to
header.
say
You can do all kinds of cool
first
stuff.
sign.
Like, look, he's just showing you how insane it is. Really, you can add classes.
Main, so we have
Let's
a
see
header
what let's
that
see
has
what
a
he's gonna
sibling
do
that's a
here.
main, and then another plus, and we have a sibling of a footer.
Header, main,
And when I
footer.
hit enter
Yep.
here, you can see we
Now
got a
you got all
header
three.
with a main
Yep.
and a footer, and they're all siblings. There are no children involved in this situation. But what if we wanted to add a child of a nav to our header? Well, if we go back, we know
Yeah,
that
you
we use
do
the greater
header,
than symbol
child,
here,
nav,
and then
plus
we type
main.
in nav. But this is
Oh no,
actually
that
going
won't
to
work.
generate slightly
Nah, that
different
won't
markup
work.
than you would think. If we hit
Yeah, so
Awaken to a world of wonder.
I actually don't know how to do this one. I'm interested to see this. We're about to both learn something right now.
if we hit enter, you can see everything is a
Alright, check
child
this
of
out.
header. And that's because when we have this child selector, now everything after it
Yep,
is a
is a
child,
child
of,
of
the thing
header,
that came
yeah.
before it, in our case, this header. So in order to
Hmm.
navigate upwards, essentially exit out of this header, what we can do is use this caret symbol, which allows us
Oh.
to climb up. It says,
Yeah,
right now we're
yeah.
in the child of the header for this nav. Now we want to climb up. So now we no longer are inside this header. And if we hit enter, you can
There
see
it
we get
is.
the markup
Beautiful.
that we want.
Okay.
But I find this
That's cool. I
climb
didn't
up
know that.
operator to be kind of confusing to work with. So instead, I like to use the grouping characters. So what we can do is
Wait,
wrap
what?
this header and nav section inside of parentheses.
Ah,
and now it's
that's
saying
so
that these
cool.
are grouped together, just like order of operations when it
Okay.
comes to math. So what it's saying is that
That's cool. I
this
didn't know you could do
nav
that
is
either.
a child of this header, but after that, we're assuming that this main is no
Man.
longer a child of this nav.
Yeah,
It's
so make
not
sure to
in
go
that
follow
loop.
him, guys. Give
So
him a
what we're gonna get
subscription.
is the same
He's
markup
dirty.
we had
It's on
before.
YouTube. It'll be
As you can
linked
see, we have
below.
a nav and a header, and then
Man,
a
this
main
guy's
and a
awesome.
footer. And the reason this
Yeah,
works
we'll
is
see a
'cause
few
we're
of his
grouping
videos
up our
throughout this.
child operators,
Every time there's
so
a
that
good
these
video in the
child
course, I'm gonna
operators
go ahead
of
and
this
link it and
greater
try to
than
get him
symbol
some
isn't
subscriptions,
leaking
some
out to everything that
some
comes after the nav,
subscribers.
because none of that
Man,
stuff
words
is
are hard
inside
sometimes.
this group. So now let's do a little bit of an
All right, let's
exercise
see.
where we want to create a header, and inside that header, we're going to have a heading for an H2, as well as a nav that has an ordered list with 5 items inside of it, and we're also going to have a main and a footer on the outside of that. So in order to do that, the first thing we know is we want our header, and inside that header, we want to have a nav and an H2. So we're going to have an H2 with some text
Yeah.
that'll say heading, and then adjacent to that, we're going to have our nav, and then inside of our nav, we're going to have an ordered list, and inside of that, we're going to have our 5 LIs.
It's actually kind of
and
crazy
then
because you
inside
could,
of these
if you thought
LIs,
out
since
the
these are actually
page
links,
enough,
we
you
want
could
to
just
make sure
put
we have
all of it
anchor
right
tags,
here and do it
and
all.
the anchor tags are going to
It's
have
pretty
the text,
insane.
which is just going to say link and then $sign. Now if we go to the end here, and we actually run this, as you can see, we
Look
got a
at that.
header
That's
with a
so
heading of
awesome.
H2 right here, our nav with our ordered list, and each one of those has a link inside of it.
Emmett
inside of
is
every side of it.
overpowered.
And then outside of here,
No,
we
it's
have
really
our main
awesome.
and our footer.
What's this
So
one?
this is a really powerful way
Ah,
to
nice.
generate
Emmett
some
form.
boilerplate
Interesting. I didn't know
HTML
about
for
this.
your
We're about to learn
document.
something else.
Another example of something we could do would be, for example, a form. So we could say that we have a form. We're going to make this one a post
Oh yeah, I guess
form.
you can
So
do
if
a
we
form with all
post,
the
you can
form
see
stuff.
it automatically populates our method to post. So we're going to have a form, which I said is going to be a post. And inside of here, we're going to have some inputs. So first we're going to have a group div, which is going to contain one of our inputs. So we're going to say input. And as you can see here, we have a bunch of different input options that we can go
Yeah,
with.
that's cool. Look at
In our
that.
case, we're just going to use the basic text box
Emmett,
input.
man.
So we're going to have our input here. And if we hit enter on this, you can see we have a div that has a group. And inside of that, we have our input, which is a type of button.
Yeah.
So what we need to do is make sure we use input type of text like this. So colon and then the type that you want. And now we actually have an input with the type of text, which has a name and an ID property that we can populate. Now let's say we wanted to have multiple inputs and we also wanted to give these a label. So we're going to give this a label, for example. And then adjacent to that, we're going to have our input. And we want to have multiple of these different groups. So what we need to do is actually put these inside of parentheses. Remember, we need to group these together. So we can say we don't want these to be children of this group. We want to create a brand new group, which is going to be next to it. So we'll say group, and then we want to do a child, which has a label. And then next to that, we're going to have an input, which is going to be a number, for example. And now if we hit
That's
enter
cool.
on this, you can see that we've got
Yo,
our
that's
form,
so
we
awesome.
have a div
Okay.
group with a label and an input, and then another div group with a label and an input.
Man,
Our
this
first
is really
input's
cool.
text, and our second input is number. So it's really powerful, the things that you can do with Emmet when it comes to generating HTML. For me, for the most part, I just use the exclamation point at the beginning, as well as writing out shorthand tags by just typing out the tag. Or
Yeah,
I use
yeah.
it a lot of times for
I don't
creating different classes.
do the
For
long
example,
stuff.
like this.
I do what
I
he
don't
just
really
said.
do it when I create a large markup like this form here, but if you get into the habit of it, it can be really, really useful.
Yeah,
Now, on top of
I don't
being
know. That's
useful
very
inside
interesting.
of
Yeah.
HTML, you can also use Emmet inside of CSS. So let's just open up here a couple style tags, and we can actually create something. We'll just do a random class selector, and now inside of here, we can use Emmet to create easy CSS styling. If we wanted a position of relative, all you do is type POS, and you can see we get position relative, and it'll generate it for us.
Man, Emmett
If
is
we
really
wanted,
cool
for
though.
example,
This
a
is so
background,
awesome.
we could just type BG, and we get background. BGC, we get background color. And there's a ton of different shortcuts inside of CSS. Another one that we can do, for example, would be width. Just type in W, you get width. And if we want to type a value, for example, 10, you can see it's going to generate us a width of 10 pixels, just like that. If we wanted to supply units, we just type our units, and now we have a width of 10 EM. Or, for example, a width of 10%, just like that. Same thing for height.
All right. All right, guys. Definitely. Here it is. Web Dev Simplified. We'll hit him, throw him our own subscribe right there. Boom. He made this 5 years ago. He has 1.74 million subscribers. That's how good his content is that's how many people, right? Look at that. Hello to fellow Odin Project students. Fantastic video. It's awesome. I agree. Fantastic video. He showed us a lot of really useful information. So there we go. Take a look at the image cheat sheet. My favorite, this one as well. Let's look. Nice. Look at this. Yeah. So here. Save. Look at that. Man, that's cool. Climb up, grouping. It's cool. Makes it faster. What are some... You know what? Here we go. We're going to do something special, I've decided. So, Google Docs. We're going to make a Google Doc where for each lesson. So this is... We'll do Emmet lesson. We're going to make a blank document. Right? And this is... We're going to just do it per page. We'll do it all together. So... We'll do the Odin Project. And then just do knowledge, just so that I understand what's going on here. And then let's do a big, like 50, maybe 48. It's gonna say the lesson, which is let's see, JS course Emmet. Right? And then we can hit enter. You can take it back down to like 18. And then we need to go here. And let's, why not? Control copy. What happens if I do this? So these are the answers, right? So question 1 is why you should use Emmet. Let's go ahead and answer it. So my answers, let's do answers. We'll just do line answers like that. First one is why should you use Emmet, right? Well, the answer is really simple. It makes you faster, right? And I mean, it allows put together HTML much faster. Is important because time is a huge resource. Then we don't actually. So we're gonna just make this the answer because it seems silly to say the same thing twice, right? So allows you to put together HTML pages much faster, which is true. Except the only thing we did wrong here is I don't like how. Whatever. We're just gonna have to accept our fate. Okay, so next one is what are some useful Emmet abbreviations? So obviously, yes, And then let's go ahead and explain. Create a base HTML outline. And we need more than that though. So, I'm just gonna list out a few more. So you have the nav one. You've got the script one. You've got the H1, H2, all, and then all create elements related. Their tag, I guess. So, all right, there we go. So, what syntax would you use to create the element paragraph, class, text? Okay, so check this out. So it'd be p dot. See, so dot is class, and then you'd text, right? I believe should be the answer. Oh wait, I did the. Whoops, give me a second. So this can't. I don't think it can be capitalized though. Should be the answer. Next up, so the fourth one. What syntax expands to an element with a child element inside of it? For example, div with a paragraph inside. What syntax expands? Okay, so they want a div. So we let's say we did a div, the child element of paragraph. That would create the div. And I don't want to. I'm just gonna copy this again. Paste it here. Div dash paragraph would create a div with a paragraph inside of it. All right, nice. Next up, what syntax would you use to create 3 elements that have the same class name? Okay, so like let's say we wanted to make a paragraph, right, with a class name of George. Why not, right? Something weird. So you can do paragraph dot George with a class of George, and all you have to do is multiply times 3. Why is it, I don't know why it's forced capitalizing right there, but I don't want it to. So p.george times 3 should create 3 paragraphs with the class George. Okay. And there we go. So that finishes the answers. And nice. That's awesome. So now we just want to go to the next page. All right. So we're done with that one. All right. So now we can mark complete. Next lesson. Made it through the first one. SVGs are a common image format on the web. They may look confusing at first, but once you know how to use them, they are an incredibly powerful tool for creating high quality images. That's awesome. Learning what SVGs are. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Useful when you create or modify images programmatically, because you can change their properties through CSS JavaScript. SVGs are often used for icons, graphs, charts, large, simple images, pattern backgrounds, applying effects to other elements via SVG filter. Okay. So SVG stands for scalable vector graphics. Vector graphics are images defined by math as opposed to traditional raster graphic, where your image is defined by a grid of pixels. With raster graphics, the detail is limited to the size of that pixel grid. Okay, I see what, okay. Nice. You have the increased size of the grid. No simple solution. All right. So vector graphics, there's no grid, and so you have formulas for different shapes and lines. Since these are just formulas, it doesn't matter how large or small you want them to appear. They scale better. All right. They're defined using XML, aka Extensible Markup Language, is an HTML-like syntax which is used for lots of things from APIs to RSS to spreadsheet and word editor software. I have no idea what RSS is, so let's click on it because it's like actually clickable. RDF site summary or really simple syndication. WebP okay, interesting. I didn't really understand it still, to be honest. I didn't want to read it all. The fact that XML has a few benefits. First, it means it's human readable. So SVG, which means it's SVG, I imagine, makes sense. The rectangle shape, a circle shape with all this. Their X and Y and radius, and X, Y, width, and height. That makes sense, okay. I don't know what this is. Maybe the base image that they're manipulating? Okay. First, see, if you're opening a JPEG in a text editor, it would look just like gobbledygook. If you're opening up an SVG, however, it would look something like this, okay? Might still be confusing, but hey, those are words, tags, attributes compared to binary file. Yeah, I agree. Second benefit of XML. Wait. Wait. All right, boys and girls. Let's do this. We're gonna code all here so that I don't have to swap the view. We're just gonna do everything on one screen. I was originally gonna do it. Let's do this. So here we go. We don't care about that. We just want to like literally make a random one. We can do test. Open the test folder. We just want to make an HTML file. svg.html maybe. And then look, Emmett, guys. Oh yeah, look at that. That was awesome. SVG test image maybe. And then let's go here. Oh, click on the wrong stuff, my bad. We want to copy this, and then we want to go to our here. So we put it in the body. It should just show the SVG, I think. I don't know why it did that. That's funky looking. Actually, we want all these to be tabbed out. Like, thinking this, okay? So that's good, that's good. So we save that. I think we can open with live server. Where's it going? I mean, oh look. So here's the page size. And SVG, it's a giant rectangle with a circle on the bottom, I guess. Interesting. Okay. So that's cool. I just wanted to see what that was. Clearly the time to roll, no. Yeah, they gotta be simple, which makes sense. Yeah, like see, this makes a lot of sense. So this one, that's kind of cool. Wait, so we can do, that's cool. Look, you can make it smaller. All right, so there's that. And then okay, in our case, that dialect is the SVG. So the XML namespace, XLM in this one, XML in S is just saying this SVG. Okay, so we're just telling it that's an SVG. And then with the elements, this is cool. So they have a, wait, so how do they have the hello? Nice, they just added the text. Wait, that's super cool. Right? Am I crazy? Nice. Yeah. So that's cool. All right, so there are two main approaches to deciding how to actually place the SVG in your document: linked and inline. Okay, wait. Okay. Or link it in your CSS using background. They will still scale, but the contents of the SVG will not be accessible from the web page. Alternative is to inline your SVG rendering your web page code rather than linking it as an image. It will still render, but the SVGs will be visible. Oh, that's cool, but then you can dynamically okay, that's really cool. Inlining SVGs allows you to unlock their full potential, but it also comes with some serious drawbacks. It makes your code harder to read, makes your page less catchable, And if it's a large SVG, it might delay the rest of your HTML from loading. Interesting. Some of the drawbacks of inlining can be avoided. For now, just do whichever works best for your use case. Link use is generally cleaner and simpler, so prefer that unless you need to tweak the SVG code alongside your HTML. Interesting. So we got a knowledge check. Yeah. You know what that means, right? Okay. So knowledge check, we've got what we got. Knowledge check. Nice. I think I can answer these pretty easily. We got to make sure we do the title though. So 48. JS. How do we do this? JS course SVGs. Okay. So then we go to 18. And we're gonna list the questions that they ask us for the knowledge check. What's awesome is then I can make this available after each video too, so that you can see. Okay, so answers. What is the XMLNS attribute, right? Attribute, whatever. I don't know how people say it. Probably wrong. But here's the deal. The answer is quite simple. It is what tells the web page that you are using an SVG. I believe that's the correct answer. If I'm wrong, I'd love to know, so tell me down in the comments. What are some situations where you wouldn't want to use SVGs? Highly detailed images question. More it's better for simple images and shapes. There we go. What are the benefits of inlining your SVGs? What are the drawbacks? So inlining SVG allows your code with JS manipulate the art, I guess, or the image, maybe the image is better, but can come at drawback that it can delay HTML on the page. I think cause it to lag behind is what it said. Behind. All right, so I think that's it, dude. That's bam. Now let's see what else they tell us to do. Additional resources. There are lots of great, nice, such as material icons. Yo, look at these. So we can add icons. Look at that with SVGs. We're gonna add this one. Save that to other bookmarks. That's awesome. And then feather icons, simply beautiful open source icons. Heck yeah. I love simply beautiful open source icons too. So bookmark that. Might as well. That's how I feel about it, at least. Might as well. All right. So additional resources. We're done. You want to make your own. CG path editors. Great for fitting around. Wait, what is this? Yo, look at that. So you can do a path, and that's cool. Look at that. I don't know enough about this, but we can add it to the thing just in case we ever want to learn it. We can look it up. It'd be easy. I feel like we're eventually going to have a bunch. That's cool. I may put this to look at later. Yeah, exactly like he says. Let's just read through this real quick. Not that big of a deal. So you can pop them in an image tag like any other image. Yeah, so there it is. Oh, nice. So I could make an SVG even in in its like own HTML thing, and then just link it to the page that way. Okay, that's really interesting. So I could separate it as code. Interesting, interesting. Man, I'm learning a lot of new stuff about this because I'm paying a little closer attention because I wanted to do this as proper as possible and learn every little detail and make sure that we're really doing the course, you know? So here we go. We're going to keep looking. Yeah, you got to use inline SVGs, it seems to be, but I don't know how. Okay, result, console, result. So this SVG is just a circle, yeah. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Wait, how did it do that? So style, circle, fill, hot pink, transition. Ah, the Y. So the radius increases maybe, and the Y gets pushed down, so it gets cut off. Width, height, circle, radius 30. So the radius would increase to 400. Wait, 400 millis. That doesn't make sense. I don't know. This I don't understand completely. Fill and radius, moonlight as CSS. Does moonlight change in CSS and you CS transitions to animate them? That's cool. Yeah, we're gonna go over this more at a different time, but that's cool. I'd like to learn more about SVGs at some point, so we'll definitely do that. So now we're on the tables. Yep, tables are good. Headers, really basic table, but yeah, it's not bad. All right, so read these. Wait, oh no. Oh no, I just opened it in a different one. Never mind, we're good. We can save this. We need to make more advanced bookmark page later, so I'm gonna make one for like React and stuff and Node, and we'll make different folders for those so that we don't get overwhelmed with how many is in one. So what is a table? A table is structured data. Yeah. So you got like your people, your age. That makes sense. Yep. We use tables for all kinds of stuff. I agree. It's a good way to keep track of data too. And then you can just read the data in the table. So you constantly add your data to the table and then you just read the data from the table to like get answers. It's really nice. Man, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Tables are really good for people that also, so if I want to give information, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Table styling, look at the live planet. Wait, you can also have a look at the live planets data. What's this? Oh, this looks cool. This is nice. So you've got all the planets, their mass, their diameters, their density, gravity, length of day, distance from sun. Look at that. It's in hours. So Mercury length of day is 4,222.6 hours. My brain thinks like damn, that just kind of crazy to me. Closest to the sun, of course. Mean temperature in Celsius. Guys, why is the second one hotter though? I wonder. Maybe it's like a gaseous planet or something. That's interesting. It's quite a bit bigger. Almost the same size as Earth. Interesting. I like almost wonder. That's wild. Like if it was spinning faster, maybe? I don't know. That's cool. I got distracted by the data, to be honest. That's kind of cool though. All right, screen readers used by blind people interpret the tags that exist in an HTML page and read out the contents. Because tables are not the right tool for layout and the markup is more complex than with CSS layout, the screen reader's output will be confusing. Okay. Interesting. Tables produce tag soup. Tables are not automatically responsive. Okay, that's good to know. So, okay. So table row, table data, all on a table. Okay. Excuse me. So there's that. And interesting. So, all right. So not bad. Read. It's like make sure to code along. I won't deny that we're not doing that. Nice. Let's see. Nice. So yeah, if you table, you make a table, you can make a caption that explains what's in the table. That'd be a good idea. Like this. That's kind of cool. So you can split the table. That's cool. The table body element needs to wrap the main part of the table, huh? That isn't the table header or footers. Come for the table head. Table foot needs to be at the bottom. Yeah. Kind of cool. Yeah. So we could definitely use tables to track data, which would be really useful. All right. So read the CSS full guide to the table, which goes very in depth about what you've already learned. All right. Let's go ahead and do the assessment. All right. So starting point. Let me see here what this is. So just a basic. All right. So it wants us to make some basic stuff. So give me a second here. So we need this. So we got a text file. Okay. So we need all three of these. And then we need to go to our here. So we did this. Let's close this folder. And then let's file. We want to make it, but we're going to need to make a new repo. It's been a while since I've done this. This one is just simply going to be tables. Practice. Open. So there we go. Trust the author because it's me. From here, let's see. So we're gonna need three things. So we need the minimal, what's it called? So the blank template HTML. We're just going to copy and paste. We just need to make sure the name is correct. So blank template. So blank dash template dot HTML. And then just save that, right? And then we want to have another one called, let's see here. Minimal table CSS. So minimal dash table dot CSS or tables. I think it's just table. All right. So minimal table CSS. Now there is information we need to copy out of this. So if we do this and copy, we go here. That should get that handled. And then the last but not least, we need to look here. Oh wait, no, it's a text file. So planets-data.txt. Planets-data.txt. Now, we could have probably just downloaded them. You know what I mean? So I know that could have been easier. This was pretty easy though. So, and we just save that in. All right, so this is all saved in now. So now we can do the project, right? So there we go. Nice. You can project brief. You are working at a school. Currently, your students are studying the planets of our system. You want to provide them with an easy to follow set of data to look up facts and figures about the planets. An HTML data table would be ideal. You need to take the raw data you have available and turn it into a table following the steps below. The following steps describes what you need to do to complete the table. All the data you need to do is in the file. If you have trouble visualizing, look at the live example below or try drawing a diagram. Open, yep, start table. You don't need a table. So, okay, so we want a table. All right, let's think this through. I have some ideas already. So we need to go ahead and open the blank template. We need a, yep. So so in the body, we need a table. Give me a second. I'm going to look up. So we're going to want a table with, let's structure it. So we need a table with caption, I think. So outer container, which will just be the table, right? No, I guess we could do like a div outer container for like the background so we can shrink and grow the table based on the page easier. Okay. So it's going to be a div with a table inside of it. And then and then we want the table header and table body. No footer. Add the provided caption. Okay, so give me a second. So we want a div, right? And we want the child of that div to be a table. And then the child of the table to be a table. No, let me see. How do I do the table head again? T head, I think. Table head plus a table body, I think, right? Yeah, so inside the table head, right, we'll have our stuff, and then inside the table body we'll have the rest of the information. So, and then let me see here. So we'll save this for now. Caption. So here's the columns: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10. So, and then caption. Okay, here's the caption. So copy this. I believe the idea here is we want to put a T caption. I think it's just a caption, right? And we want to put that. So this table is data about the planets for a solar system player. Yeah, okay. That looks right. Save that real quick. Then we want to take the table head. So the table head is going to be... It'll be the column labels, technically, right? Which, okay, so if we open this to the split right, close that here, drag this here. So we really only want to look at these two things. This gives us our information. So these are our columns, which I think is right. So inside the table head, let me see here. I think TR, I think. So table row, and then wait, the headings for columns or rows. So the way I want to do this table is I want on the left side to have the name, mass, diameter, density, gravity, and then I want it to work to the right. So I need a column, not a row, sorry. So the head is going to be a column, I believe. So TC, I believe, or what is table column? Column groups. So there's table row. Let me see here. Let me see what this does. Maybe I'm wrong. It's funny. I didn't do this the original time I did this. I just skipped over it. I'll admit it, and I'm a little embarrassed because look, I didn't know all this. All right, it's good learning. Even though it's just HTML, it's still important to learn. Let's see. So it's table row, and then TR defines a row. Then we want to do TH, eh? Okay, so TH. So this is a table heading. Now let me see this. I want to see. So let's see how this goes because save this and we can actually go to live server and look at this. So nice. Is it just so do I just do TH for each of these? Let me see. Now it's on live server. Oh, you guys can't see it. Man. Give me a second here. So we can actually do this. If I do this right. Add it here. So here's what the table looks like. Here. I think we can make it take up half the screen. And I can code on this side. code on this much of the screen. It'll make it more readable for you guys. Kind of see what's going on. So honestly, I don't need, well, it's not really true. Maybe do the minimum. So we have the name, right? So if I save this, we got name and it's got another th, but it's going to be next to it, right? This is what I wanted to know. So wait, so they're going to list out over the top then, which I don't want. So we got to figure this out. Maybe column or column group, and I don't know. Let me think. So table head, table body, the table foot, so those will be data rows. Man, okay, column system is one of defines a table data cell. These cells contain actual data. TH defines a table header cell. Find inside a TR. So table row, table foot, table body. So is my only option to use table row then? And then in this row, we have the header of name. But then I've got to do table row, like, or do I have to do this then? But then mass, right? Name. So if we save that, you can see here. Yeah. So to do it the way I wanted to, because if I move yeah, so each row, but then like if I add a TR here with a TD table data of right, so then the table data, like let's say then maybe the name, right? So Mercury. So what happens here? So see, yeah, that's not what I want to happen. I gotta think this through, right? So a really easy table then. Okay, I know what we're gonna do. I'm making it too complicated. I'm gonna accept it. We're gonna go across the top row with the main labels, and then we'll do each planet, and then yeah, that works. It'll just make it easier. So we only want the one, and these are just the headers. So let's look at how many we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we want 9 more of these. So TH times 9. There we go. And then it's just, then we'll just copy paste. Super simple. Copy that. So let's make our table. Copy that. Copy this. Number of moons. All right. So there we go. So we hit save. There we go. Boom. Look at that. The start of our table right there. Boom. What do we think? I like it. So now that's everything, right? So now we got to go to our planets. So we want to have another row that's going to be a label. So all right, nice. Let's see how this goes. So on the body, right? We're going to need a TR. Inside that TR, I'm going to want this first one to be, it's going to need to say terrestrial planets, right? Terrestrial planets. And then when we hit save, what happens? That is not what I expected. Oh, wait. We can do a TH terrestrial. It's... So there we go. We don't like that. So what we need here, I think we do row span. I think 9. No, that did not do what I wanted. 8. Oh, not row. Wait, is it called column span? There it is. 9. There it is. Oh, 10. My bad. So 10. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. All right, let me grab another drink real quick. So it's going pretty good. We're just pretty much we're at the point where we just gotta enter information. And then we may do a little bit of CSS to make it prettier. All right. So yeah, doing pretty good. All right. So we need another TR with a table data. No, this is just the name of the planet. Nah, yeah. So we'll do that. So the first one's gonna be Mercury. Mercury with table data 0.330. Another TD. So 1, 2. 4879. Table data of 5427. Let's see how this is looking. Yep, density, beautiful. Table data 3.7. Table data 4222.6. And if we hit save here, so I am having a bit of an issue. Let me see. Maybe we can. Maybe we can shrink that and extend this just a hair. We're having an issue right now, so 422.6, 57.9. So table data 57.9. Table data 167. Table data. And let's see if we need a 0. And then the next one's going to be table data. It's just closest to sun. Or well, the sun, I guess. I'm going to do this properly. All right. So then do the next one. All right. So 3, that's 10 per row. All right. So we want to do TR with table data times 10. And then in the table data, we want to just enter in data. So we don't actually need to look at the thing anymore. So we'll do this real quick so it's easier to do. But all we're doing is entering in data now. So for this makes it easier because I don't have to make all the things. 12104. Let's see, 12,104. 5243. And then 8.9. And then 2802.2. 108.2. There should be 2 more. 108.2464 and 0 because there's no notes. So let's save that and let's just take a quick look to make sure it still looks okay. So there it is. There's no notes, right? We left it available in case we ever wanted to add it. All right. That's easy. There it is, dude. So this is what we're trying to do. Table row. But I want these to all be like that. All right. So table row with a child of table or table data times 10. And then do this. Let's go and fix it just right out the gate. So there we go. So we did Mercury and Venus. Now we're on Earth. Earth. 5.97. 12756. Yeah. So 5514. 9.8. 24. Dot 0, I guess. Let's see here. 149.6. 15. 1 and a note. Our world. And then we just keep doing that. So TR with a child of TD data times 10. And then, dude, we're just going to keep doing this till we finish the table. Really simple now. Let's see, so Mars 0.642. I think, right? 6792. 6792. All right. 3933. And then 3933. 3.7, 24.7. 227.9. Negative 65 and 2. Oh, I hit it twice. 2, and there's nothing in the last one. So then another TR with table data times 10. And then I don't know how to highlight all of these and then do stuff on them without doing this. There's still lots of hotkeys I have to learn. Honestly, I won't deny that. So we did Mars. Actually, the next one's not even. So it's a TH. My bad. So it's a header with a column span of 10. And this one's just going to say. Wait. That's so weird. Jovian planets. And then underneath that, another TH with a column. 10. I think this will work this way. Gas, giants. Let's see if this works the way I think it will. So we save that. No. Okay, that's good to know. So cut that to a TR with that. That should work perfectly. And then we need another TR with TD times. And this one is Jupiter. Wait, let me see how this is turning out. Yeah, look at that. That's coming together nicely. That's come out really well. Nice. So Jupiter 1898. 142,984. 84. 1326. 23.1. $9.9. 778. 6. Negative 110. And 67. And then the note is the largest planet. Nice. So then we're going to need a TR with a times 10. And then it's Saturn. And then 568. 125.36. 687. 9.0. 10.7. 1433. 5. Negative 140. I don't know why I hit it twice. And then 62 with nothing there, and then a TR with TH. This one's gonna say have the column span of 10, and this one's gonna say ice giants. NTR. And green. 86.8. $51 $118. 1271. Next up's gonna be 8.7. So we're just entering in the data for the table right now. This is with HTML table. It'll be, now I get why you do this with JavaScript and other stuff online. 2872.5. This isn't too bad though. Kind of gets me an idea how to make the tables, which is nice. Negative 195. Why does it hit? Every time I press the button, I swear it's twice. I don't know. Maybe it's bugging out. And then 27. So let's see here. So I'll do that. And then TR with times 10. Okay, so Neptune is next. We're actually getting pretty close to done. 102, 49, 528. 528. So 1638. 11. You got 16.1. 4495.1. All right, negative 214. And then another. Now we gotta do a with a column span of 10. This one I think is dwarf planets. TR. All right. And dwarf planet is Pluto. 0.0146. 2370. Uh, 2095. 0.7. 153.3. 5906.4. And negative 225. Yeah, it does twice every single time. I wonder why. And then 5. And then the note is here. I'll give it a second. Gotta get a good control copy. There we go. So now when we save this, it should finish our thing. Here we go. Ooh, look at that, beautiful. Man, that's a nice table. So there we go. There's our table, guys. So that's what we're going to be calling it right now. I'm going to go take a nap, and then we're going to come back and do another hour and a half. We're going to try to do about 3 hours a day. But if you've been watching up to now, man, I really appreciate it. We'll keep working through each lesson bit by bit. But that should finish this lesson. Let's double check to just make sure. So we did that. And yeah, we're good to go. We can do the knowledge check. But there we are. Bada bing, bada boom. Next up will be default styles. I'll see you guys later.